channel is sponsored by Great Bay Outfitters. Great Bay Outfitters is a waterfront kayak shop located near Great Bay. They are New Jersey's #1 volume dealer of Old Town kayaks. Great Bay Outfitters specializes in fishing kayaks and offers demos, rentals, repair, rigging, and a full assortment of PFDs, dry suits, motors, paddles, and accessories from many major brands.
Alright, so I'm gonna explore this creek in this very wooded area. I don't know if you can see, man, that's a lot of thorns up ahead, so it's definitely gonna be a rough walk. But usually creeks like this in the wintertime hold some fish, typically pickerel, but there has been other species around like little perch. I usually don't do this fishing until hunting season's over because a lot of this area is really good hunting area, and I don't want to be mistakenly shot by somebody looking for, you know, a big buck. But stay tuned. When we get to the first spot, I'll show you what we're working with. All right, we are going to take a nice little hike in the woods. Oh man, these are the spots as a kid you used to fish all the time, where you came home with multiple cuts on your legs and arms because of these, man. These thorn bushes are the worst, man. And when you walk into a whole score of them, man, it's just, they're the most unforgiving thing in the forest. I'd rather be attacked by greenheads. Well, you don't see that very often. Random net. I'd rather be attacked by like greenheads and mosquitoes rather than these thorns. But I'm gonna try and find a spot that has clear enough space. The problem is, like spots like this, they're just not enough room. If I cast, I'm gonna catch a tree and I'm gonna lose my lure. But there's usually hope at the end of the road. Like this looks pretty clear. I don't know if there's much back here, but pretty cool little spot. Let's give it a shot. Man, this is like kind of a weird place for casting. Just nice and slow. Maybe something will grab it. Nothing there. I'm actually gonna switch over to the grub for a second. Because I gotta work it a little bit slower here. The problem is, the slower I work it, the less action that blade really gives off. And this I could kind of work closer to the bottom. Man. A lot of algae and grass. Try one more cast. If nothing, will there's plenty of real estate along this creek that I could hike and try. As long as we get one fish today, it's a success, man. It's bitterly cold out. Not much happening. All right, let's try somewhere else. Ooh, something took a swipe at it. I don't know what that was, but Oh, look at that pickerel right there. You see that pickerel follow it in? I hope the GoPro caught that. Little pickerel. Man, working the bait way too fast. Gotta remember it's cold. There he is. There we go. What do we got? Pickerel? All right, all right, all right. No skunk. And this is a chain pickerel. I mean, if you thought I was joking about the temperature, the ice on the ground will tell you I'm not. It is not very warm out here. All right. Luckily, it's just in the top of his jaw. And these fish, I don't know if you could see, they have some razor sharp teeth, so there's a reason I'm using pliers rather than my fingers. But let's get this little guy back in the water. Problem when it's this cold, man, you can't leave him out of the water super long because it'll kill him. All right, one fish on the day so far. Maybe 5 casts. Not really sure how many. I haven't really been keeping count. But there should be some more fish here. What's crazy is in the winter, a lot of times they're a little bit more lethargic, and you'll see them follow the lure but not hit it, like that first cast or second cast. That's why I'm just kind of trying to cast in this general vicinity ahead of me. Try one up this way before I switch what we're throwing. All right, I'm gonna switch it up for a minute. Try a grub. Sometimes they're there, but you're not presenting what they want to see. And a curly tail sometimes will get the party started. The nice thing with this too is I could work it a little bit slower than that spinner bait that we were throwing earlier. The problem this time of year is you gotta really work the bait at a slower pace. But with that, then you run into the blade not spinning, and then it doesn't look as natural. At least with a grub, it doesn't matter how slow you work it, there's gonna be some type of action. I'm gonna try over here. Lean that rod there. This is another spot that if we make it out without losing a lure, consider myself lucky. Just trees everywhere. Luckily with these ultralight rods, they're only 4/6, I think, which makes life so much easier. If I was fishing a 6-7 foot rod, I'd be having a very long day. Nothing on that first one. Try and go further in. One of the big things I just try and remind myself is, especially if you're working with the current, and there's very minimal current in this creek, but even if you're working with it, you always want to taper it back a tad bit, because these fish aren't as active as they normally are. See if we can't sneak one that way. Ooh. I was afraid to catch the tree to the left of that. Probably try the next one over that way. This must have been frozen over this week, because I could see ice right there, the back end on the corner. So that's usually never a great sign, especially in an area like this where you have moving water. Moving water usually takes longer to freeze over than, you know, stagnant moving water, especially freshwater like this. This is like 100% freshwater. But it's been such a brutal winter. The bays by me have been frozen for some time now, like good portions of the bay, which, when you can walk on safe ice on salt water, that just tells you how cold it's actually been, man. Probably take a few more casts here, and if nothing pans out, like I said, we got plenty of creek to explore, more thorns to walk into. Probably take one more cast to my right, try and shoot for that weird looking tree and work it across. There was a lake nearby that I was gonna look at, but if there's ice here, ooh, I think that was a snag. I don't think that was a fish. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was a snag. Oh, look at that. There we go. All right. Wow. Now look at this guy. He got something going on with his back. I don't know if another pickerel. Now, those are the teeth I'm talking about. They're like freshwater piranhas, but before I put them back in, look at that. Drop a comment down below if you, that was probably another pickerel, man. There's some big pickerel in this little area. And I'm guessing, yeah, there he swims off. You can see his little scar. I'm guessing a bigger pickerel probably took a swipe at him. All right, that's 2 fish. So we've already exceeded expectations. I know some of you probably are laughing, like 2 fish ain't much of a trip to talk about, but I'm telling you, man, when it gets cold here, these fish really get lethargic. I mean, super, super lethargic. You know, it's been a pretty cold winter when, you know, we get a really good white perch, yellow perch bite here. And some of those days have been so cold, I've been out up the river marking tons of fish, putting live bait in front of them, and they would not touch a thing. That's how you know, like, it's gonna be a rough winter, when they're not hitting live shrimp or live minnows. You know, soft plastics is one thing. You kind of expect a little bit of a curve with soft plastics, but if you have live bait, man, it's typically a home run. But the end is near, man. March is very close. Once March rolls around, we'll be able to go striper fishing.